Hey guys, Rob here with RubberToe Assembly, another video of the 15 by 8 lifetime shed. We're going to be assembling, there it is, looks great. We're going to be assembling the Gables here, section 3. First, showing you assembly tricks, the way I build these things, going by the book as well. This first piece here on this gable, it's going to be the end gable that doesn't have the doors, is to check it or double check it here. Make sure that all these little burrs are all sliced off. Any kind of obstruction where the two pieces are going to overlap and come together should be removed. Any kind of extra plastic. As you see here, I'm using a utility knife, and I switch the blade out, make a nice sharp blade, and it just makes the cutting easier. But you still have to be careful. Always cut away from you and safely, and don't want to cut yourself. So, but you get the idea here. How I trim up each piece so it's a nice smooth finish where they're going to connect together like a puzzle. So I'm just making nice straight edge pieces that are all going to link together perfectly. That way when you screw the pieces together, all the holes line up, there's no debris or buildup of anything inside where the screws are going to go through to screw them together. As you see here on the top line, you want that to be smooth as well, so I'm just clearing those holes from any kind of stuff that gets in the way. Nice smooth where they interlock really nice. Makes all the difference in the world later on when you're putting all this stuff together and you can't figure out why are they not going together, you know? So here I'm putting together the left side and right side on the wall gable, and it gets 4 screws right up the center, those short fat ones. Poof, they go right in, everything lines up nice, and then there's one there at the top, and that's going to hold those two pieces together. Then I put the window and the screen there, the little ventilation, and line up the 3 holes to the top and the screen just like that, nice and perfect. Put 2 fingers right there on those 2 rails, lift up slowly and then down slowly, and it stays right where it has to go. One of my favorite tricks on how to put these ventilation screens up. Anyway, you come with the screws with a washer on each one of them. There should be 5 small screws in that little bag that comes with this section, and then you put them in with a washer straight down, make them catch, and as you can see, the screen holes in the screen and the holes in the plate below all line up perfectly with the holes in the gable, and I'm just zip 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 5 screws all set on that. Now section 3.7, the header gable, where the doors are going to be. You have this long square tube that gets 2 little end caps, gets an end cap in each end, one on the other side, one here. I just press them in. If they don't go in too easy, then you can give it a bang on the cardboard, on the concrete or something, bang them in, or with a mallet actually would be better. So I usually press them right in, no problem, and then you line the bar, the header bar they call it, you line it up with that little groove in the middle where the door is going to lock, right there. That little indentation marks where the groove is. You want it a little bit to the right of the center line. See how it's just to the right of your center line, because your left side door is going to plug in there. And then you want to, when you screw this down, you want to make sure these screws go in and snug up the first time. Very crucial part here. See how the indentations are to the top? I just flip it that way because the screws catch a lot easier, and you want these to catch and then snug up. You don't want to strip these out. So crucial. So and you put these 4 in just as you see there, and it's nice and solid with that hole just to the right of the inside of the center cable. Alright, all set on that one. Now here is your left door assembly, section 4, and it's a little different on the door channel. You're going to get 2 deadbolts, is what they're called, that are going to go one on the top and one on the bottom of the door. As you see, I'm doing this vertically Takes some skill after doing all these. The way it shows in the book is to lay it you know, on its side and slide this thing on, but I've got it down pat where I can do it just like this. Hold it where it has to go. That's your first deadbolt. Slide that tube down using gravity to help me, you know, it just wants to slide down. And they always line up way better when you do it this way. And then now I'm going to tip it upside down and just kind of use the ground, or in this case the cardboard with grass yard underneath, to push it up through here, just as you see there. Line up the other channel with the deadbolt channel, slips out, only goes one way, slips it in right there so that the door channel slides right over it. Boom. And then just pull down and use the ground to my advantage to push that on there the rest of the way. And there you have it. That's my way of doing it. And they tell you to slide it on when it's in this position. And, you know, two people usually always works better. One person holds the door and the other person kind of bangs it across with the mallet. But anyway, it's on there. I'm just clearing those holes. They should line up with the little channel that's in the middle of the door there. And so you should have two cleared holes like you saw through the door. And then I run these carriage bolts through that first piece, and then this silver piece goes on the same shape. It only goes one way. Same shape, lines up there as a little cover, protector cover. And then these two carriage bolts sink into the little square shape that's inside the piece there that I'm holding, and then they go run through those holes. So you want to make sure those holes are clear. If you look through there and you see plastic obstructing in the way, then you stick the screwdriver in like you saw there I did in the beginning a minute ago, and clear those holes. Sometimes you get two extra washers that are this size with the handle on the other package, and I sometimes put little washers on here at this point. It kind of helps hold these two on. If you have extra, that's great. If not, the instructions don't show any washers here, but I just like to use the extra pieces if possible. Boom, and there you have your left door assembly there, except for the handle. I don't think the handle's on yet. Yeah, those three holes there where the handle go, that's on the inside. Get these screws that you see here, and I always put this short screw with the washer on that bottom hole first by itself. There you go. You see I go straight to that one, and then that goes into the bottom hole of the handle right there, lines up. Give it a couple of turns so it's loose still, so it's swinging. You know, you could swing it. And then you take the top screws, make sure washers are on those, and then you take the two top screws, and you can get some jiggle room or wiggle room there on the handle. So to make the two top holes, you look through those holes and you'll see that you got to line them up. You want a nice perfect handle fit. So there you go. You look through those two holes and you see, okay, there's two holes in the handle. Boom, I tighten the first one down nice and snug, and then I put the screw in the washer. Boom, snug up the second one, and then drop back down and snug up that bottom one. So now your handle's on there, perfectly positioned and nice and solid. And there you have it. There's your left side door assembled and ready to go, except for the pole here. Yeah, the pole I always put in last. There's two, if they have two entryways on your 15 by 8, there's going to be two longer poles and two shorter poles. And let's see what these are. I think they're the longer ones. So these, oh, actually that's kind of short. Okay, so these go in the center where you have your short gable, because it's a smaller size gable, so the two shorter rods obviously are going to go where the smaller size gable, wherever that's going to be. Okay, now on to section 5 here, the right door assembly. Much like the first door we just did, the left door. Actually, you could say it's easier because you don't have to put the deadbolt brackets in. This one, I'm just clearing the holes there where the handle goes. You want a nice smooth finish there. I deburr all that stuff out of there with a utility knife, just like you saw there when I was talking about the channel. And that's the inside, looks like so. You'll be putting the screws in there and stuff. And so yeah, I'm just cleaning the side just a little bit. I noticed some build up there on the edge of the plastic door. So when I slide that door channel on, you want it to go nice and smooth. There I'm getting the door channel, and you want the angle to be overlapping. It's going to be the one that overlaps the other one. So your left door is underlapping it. the right door overlapping. And then those two holes in the middle of the channel should line up with the little groove in the center of the door there when you do this fashion. As you can see, the little indentations on the inside because it's going to overlap the other door on the outside. So then, just like the left side door, I slide that down. Don't have to worry about deadbolts being inserted on that one. It's just the left door that gets the deadbolts. And then straight to putting all of the hardware through where the door handle is going to be, just like the other side, same way. Shows you a real nice picture in the owner's manual also of this little section, the way they show you the diagram. It's kind of cool. So then that's 3/8, I believe. Just tightening up these screws, not super tight because you don't want to crimp anything, but just, you know, about what you see there, a turn and a half or two or three turns maybe. Snug those up, and you want that little thing, that little bar in the middle, that's piece of metal right behind my hand there, you want that to swing loosely, which I'm sure it does. And then you clip in the two thumb lever handles on your door handle there, those two pieces together, slides right through the channel, snaps together just like you saw there, and it comes around on the front side of the door and goes through those holes that we cleared out. This is what you deburred earlier and cleared out those holes, so this handle slides through there nicely and fits right tight up against the front of the door. First screw I put in, just like the other handle, is the bottom screw, and it gets one washer. You line up the holes there, put the screw in there, but don't completely tighten it, just loose enough where, you know, it can swing if it had to on the back end. And then you go to the two top holes that you see there. This is the thumb lever style handle. There's other handles that are bolt action, cross bolt handles, which are good too, but this particular thumb lever handle gets the two top screws and then jump back at the end and tighten that last screw. Almost got ahead of myself right there. And so you put the other top screw in, boom, and then you drop to the bottom one right there and snug that one up nice and snug, so your handle's a nice clean fit on the front side of it, and it's tightened perfectly to the door. Then you add this next piece here that you see a hole goes through it for the last screw that you have, which is just like the handle screws. Don't need a washer on this one, but you line that hole up with the hole in the thumb lever handle right there. You just screw that screw all the way through. That's why I use a long tip in this situation, really helps. Long drill bit tip, number 2. And then you screw that up through the hole and into the hole on that little bracket, and there you have it, nice and snug on there. And then that metal bar is going to be raised and lowered to open the door latch and the lever. Just like you see here, you put the spring on, loop it through that one hole you just saw there, and then the second one, just as you saw me do it, just like that, boom. And then you pull the thumb lever, and that's how it works. Perfect. Alright guys, hope this is a very helpful video. Another rubber toe assembly on a 15x8 shed. Here's the finished product of a 15x8. Looks nice. Alright, thanks for watching, you guys. Please subscribe and like. Thanks. Alright, RubberToe over and out.